I have been so much enjoying gardening lately, working in my yard. We have planted all these really pretty lettuces, and we have spinach growing, and beets, and strawberries, and I planted a bunch of new flowers, and it's really the first time in years that I've been planting things because of the drought. A lot of things in my yard kind of died, and I quit watering things, and so it's been so fun to plant those things and to have everything look so pretty. It's been so fun and enjoyable and really satisfying. And I've been moving some things and planting new things. It's just been so much fun. But it's been fun and it's been enjoyable and it's been so deeply satisfying because it's such a passion of mine, not just to garden, but to make things beautiful. You know, that's probably why I've worked as a hairdresser for 37 years, you know. It's that making beauty and making things beautiful is a gift and a talent and a passion of mine and something that just comes natural to me. And because it's such a part of me, I think that's why it feels so good and it feels so satisfying. I know that every single one of us, we have things that we love to do. We have things that we're really good at, things that just come natural to us, that are natural inclinations, and things that we enjoy because they're just those natural inclinations. Because we love doing them, and because they come natural to us, and because it feels so good to do those things, that is an indicator that those things are part of your life purpose. And so I think sometime in class, actually, we've been talking about purpose. We've been teaching this class, Magic of the Soul. And we were talking about purpose this week, about life purpose, what that means and what it looks like, and how to discover what your life purpose is. And I know as spiritual beings, we have a need to live with a sense of purpose. We have a need to share that sense of purpose with the world, to express that sense of purpose that lives within us. We have a need to feel fulfilled. We have a need to do things and act in ways that feel fulfilling and that feel like they fill us up. And so living with soul purpose fills us up. Living with soul purpose makes us feel fulfilled like that and makes us really feel alive in whatever it is that we're doing. I think one of the problems is though so often we think we don't know what our life purpose is. But I think we don't think we know what our life purpose is because it never occurs to us that it is that thing that comes easy to us. That it's the thing that we are naturally inclined to do and the thing that feels good to us. The thing that we really love doing. I think sometimes also we think we can't express our life purpose because we think that we're in the wrong job to express that. That job doesn't give way or an opportunity for us to express that. Or perhaps instead of that, perhaps you're retired and you don't really want to get back into the workforce and you think, well, then you've already missed the boat and it's too late to express your life purpose. Or even more than that, I think, is sometimes we think that our life purpose needs to be so big, like you need to find the cure to cancer, or you need to create the solution to global warming, or if not that, at least you need to do something like be a firefighter and save people from burning in fires. But we think that it has to be something really big. Well, in our workbook for the Magic of the Soul, he speaks to that. And he says, soul purpose is defined as that which we love to do that makes the world a better place, that contributes to the life of others. It is something general that can be fulfilled through any career, at any moment in time, and through any interaction. So when we connect our life purpose with a need out there in the world, when it meets a need, that's when we are really fulfilling our purpose. That's when we feel fulfilled. And so the title of my talk today is Answering the Call. And I'm talking about how each and every single one of us has a life purpose. And life purpose and soul purpose are synonymous with each other. They mean the same thing. We each have that life purpose, and when we express that purpose in a way that meets a need in the world, we are answering the call of our own soul. We are answering the call and we are fulfilling our soul mission And when we do that, everyone is served. We are served, the people around us are served, the whole world is served by that. And so fulfilling your life purpose doesn't have to be bigger than life, and it doesn't have to be expressed through a vocation. And so I read a story this week that I'd love to share with you. It says, with the preemie cradled in his arms, the retiree glanced towards the entrance of the pediatric intensive care unit. The child's mother stood at the door. David Deutschman later recalled, she'd gone home to take care of her older daughter, all the while worrying about the baby boy whom she'd left the previous night at the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Hospital. Now she was back. "Who are you?" she says, peering at the stranger holding her swaddled son, with life-sustaining wires taped to his cheek. "I'm the ICU grandpa," Deutschman replied. After retiring from his job as an international marketing executive in 2000, Deutschman became a guest lecturer at the Atlanta area universities. But it wasn't enough to fill up his time. After he left rehab one day for a leg injury, Deutschman decided to stop into the children's hospital nearby. "I decided to walk in there just wondering if they had volunteer opportunities. And they did, and they were happy to take me on board." Deutschman first went to work in the hospital's school for long-term patients. Then one day, he was startled by encounters with two patients' mothers. "I went to help escort a child to the schoolroom, and the mom said she's going into surgery. The little girl's going into surgery. She followed me into the hallway and proceeded to tell me every detail of the child's condition and what's going on. Odd that the mom told a virtual stranger all about her child's condition. He then saw another mom walking out of the pediatric intensive care unit looking upset. Her son had been flown to the hospital the previous night, and she said his condition was dire. She comes into my arms and starts crying. After that day, I went to the volunteer office and told them, I now know what I want to do at the hospital. Now, twice a week, Deutschman spends the day in the pediatric and the neonatal ICUs, holding babies and helping their parents. Sometimes I get puked on, sometimes I get peed on. It's great. Deutschman's friends ask why he would put up with that. They just don't get it. The kind of reward you can get from holding a baby like this, he says. So he's fulfilling his purpose in his retirement by not just holding babies that need that love and attention, but by helping the parents also. I have 2 hairdressing clients who hold babies in the hospital. One during the middle of the night. She goes in like at 11 and works until 5 o'clock in the morning. But fulfilling our purpose can happen anytime, anywhere that we are. Living our spiritual purpose is really about the way we live our daily lives. It's really about bringing our natural gifts and talents and inclinations and the things that we love to do into the world in a way that is beneficial to other people or beneficial to the planet. And so Harbula, I think that's how you say his name, Harbula, who is the author of Magic of the Soul, says actually that our purpose is more effectively fulfilled when we don't wait for the perfect career, but when we express that purpose right where we are. And he also says every purpose has the potential to be fulfilled to some degree through every possible career. So you have the opportunity in the moment to express whatever your soul purpose is. And so in class, we worked on this week our soul purpose. And what I came up with is that my purpose is creating an experience for people to experience their essence. And then when I worked with it a little bit more and distilled it even a little bit further, what I came up with is that my purpose is supporting people in having a richer and a deeper life. And so I get to do this here with you. And I get to do that while I'm hairdressing, and I get to do that while I'm teaching classes, and I get to do that while I'm talking to the girl that's working behind the cash register in the restaurant where I have breakfast. I can do that purpose anywhere. And so some of the other people in class, we all wrote purpose statements, and so some of them I would like to share with you. One person said her purpose is to help people experience their own magnificence. And another person said their purpose is to alleviate suffering and contribute to other people's happiness. Another one was to create a safe and loving and happy place for children to learn and socialize and play. And one more is to give and receive love. We can do those purposes anywhere. And so Harbala gave us a 3-part formula in this book of how to live your soul purpose or your life purpose. And one of the things is to look at what you love to do that makes the world a better place. And the second is to contemplate your vision of what an ideal world looks like, and then to look at how you can contribute to creating that ideal world. And then the third one is the idea of the wounded healer. And what that means is where we have a wound in our lives, that we use that as a catalyst to assist other people. And that would be something like the founders of Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. You make the world a better place because of some kind of a wound that you have, or he talks about something that you didn't get in your childhood that you're still trying to learn right now. And so I'm going to invite each of you to write down a few things. So if you take out your little insert that's blank that says notes, and if you need a pen, if you'll raise your hand, and Barbara will give you a pen. And so if you've already done this exercise in class this week, I invite you just to listen and see if there's something to add or some clarification of something that already came to you in class. And so this is what he says. What do you like to do that contributes in some way to making the world a better place? Do you like to teach, make people smile, make people laugh, create beautiful things, crunch numbers, play games, solve problems, empower others, organize, discover principles, inspire, contribute to health, release trapped emotion, awaken spiritual awareness? And so I ask you to just make a short list. What is it that you love to do that contributes in some way to making the world a better place? And to go ahead and write a few things down. What do you love to do that in some way contributes to making the world a better place? If you need a pen, raise your hand. Do you need a pen? Pat Scott.
Can you spell the name of the author?
Harbula. H-A-R-B, like boy, U-L-A. I'll give you a second to wrap up that one that you're writing right now, and then I invite you to close your eyes again. And he says, another way to help define your purpose is to contemplate your vision of an ideal world. How would you describe a perfect world? A world where people are supportive of one another? A world filled with beauty? A world filled with order and justice? A world where children feel safe and nurtured? A world where adults can still play? A world of peace? Contemplate your vision of an ideal world. And then go ahead and write some of that down. And so your homework this week is to take that paper with you and to look at that. How does what you love doing fit into that ideal world? How can you contribute what it is that you love to do as a way to bring that world about, that ideal world? And then, we're not going to do it today, but just to also look at, do you have some childhood wound or something that has happened in your life that acts as a motivator to you in this world to make the world a better place from that? Or something that you did not get in your childhood that you are still learning today. Is that part of your life purpose? And so I invite you to do that this week, to take that with you. And about that wounded healer thing, I wanted to share a story with you. It says, this is a man that Colleen knows that owns a mortuary in town. And it says, Kenneth McKenzie became interested in becoming a mortician at the age of 12 when his father committed suicide. Working with grieving families came very natural to him, but he was uncomfortable with the high cost of funerals. After 8 years at a Lakewood, California mortuary in 1994, he opened McKenzie Cremation and Burial Services in Signal Hill, California, and halved the price of funerals. He shares his services by donating 3% of his professional service charge to that particular family's charity. He also gave back to the community by sponsoring annual holiday food drives and summer estate sales that directly benefit people who receive care at local cash-crunched hospitals. And so it's no surprise that McKenzie is winning accolades from Long Beach's high-ranking officials, and he has been named the Outstanding Business of the Year for community involvement by the Long Beach Community Business Network. And so he's taking that wound and has turned it around to become purpose in life to create a better world for all of us. And so my invitation to you this week is look at that which you love doing. Take a look, make a longer list. What are the things that you love doing that meets a need in the world? What are you passionate about? What is really important to you? What tweaks you? What are you naturally good at? Just comes natural. That's just the way you are in the world. And then look at how that coincides with your vision of a beautiful world, your vision of an ideal world. And perhaps there is some wound in your life or something you're still learning that is also a clue to your purpose. And as you look at those things and come up with those answers from within yourself, then you will have discovered your purpose. And then live your purpose on a daily basis. Live your purpose in everything that you do, in everywhere that you go, as much as you can. No one else can contribute the gift that you have to contribute to this planet and to the evolution of humanity on this planet. Your purpose and your sharing of that purpose is needed in this world. Your contribution is needed. And so I'm going to close with a quote that is by Edwin Hubble Chapin, who was a Unitarian Universalist minister in the early 1800s. He said, "Every action in our lives touches some chord that will vibrate into eternity." And so may your soul purpose and its expression vibrate into eternity and bless all of us. And so blessings to all of you on this path of unfolding and of expressing and bringing your purpose into this world. Blessings to you. And so I invite you to join me in an affirmative prayer. Oh, and so how good it is to just answer the call of my own soul to be back in this place of communion, this place of remembering that, yes, indeed, each and every single one of us are immersed in this infinite presence. This infinite one that is the absolute source of everything, that is the cause of everything, that which is the center of everything. The center who is ever present, and the circumference that is forever and forever, forever out into eternity. And so how good it is to be remembering this and to be knowing this and to be communing with that presence within me. And so I know that we are eternally, each and every one of us, immersed in this presence, that we walk in this presence, that we walk with this presence, and that presence fills us, for it is the very essence of who we are. It is the essence of our spirit. It is the essence of our soul. It is the wisdom that leads us and guides us, and it is that which speaks to our hearts of our purpose that we are here to share. And so I know today that our purpose becomes clearer and clearer and clearer to each and every one of us, and that avenues present themselves before us as ways for us to express that purpose in this world. And in doing so, we are lifted, we are filled, and the world is blessed. So how good it is to be living this life of the divine, to be walking this path of the divine. And so I know right now that it is pouring itself out as a blessing to each and every one of us, that our lives are overflowing with good, with every need that we have is being met in the moment, as we open ourselves and as we recognize that it is already here in its fullness, in its allness, in its wholeness. There's nothing to reach for. There is nothing to lean into. It's already closer than our very breathing. And so we live this life in an awareness of this divine presence within us and around us and expressing itself through us. What a blessing this is. And so I release this word into that infinite law of the universe, knowing that it is taken a hold of and that it is unfolding all around us and filling our lives because it is the truth. And so we do step in and we lean in and we know and we claim and we accept. And in that, I give great thanks. And I release this prayer and I say, and so it is.
So it is.
Wow. Reverend Jen.